Alright, now let me start off this video by saying a couple really important things that I feel like need to be said off the rip, because there's been some people in my comments just going left and right on trying to start arguments over shit that I'm not even talking about, okay? Number one, the subject that we're about to get into is very, very serious. It is real. It does happen. Number two, I'm not dissing little homie, man. Look, I love King Von, bro, and I love his music, man. Just because I don't agree with everything that he did or that he agreed with in his life, that doesn't mean that I can't have a respect for him, you know? And the guy was an absolutely incredible musician. But, you know, I've been re-listening to a lot of his music lately. Yes, I know this is a long time after his death, too. Let me address that. I don't need motherfuckers getting on here trying to be like, oh, you're way after the fact, or why you got a problem with King. Dude, it's none of that, bro. If you can't be an adult and be on here listening to what I'm really talking about, then don't come on here, man. Go to another site. All right. I wonder if King Von wanted to die. And the reason I say that, and hear me out, I'll explain my reasons. I've been listening to a lot of his music again recently, like recirculating the shit. And one thing that I noticed about Von is that certain songs of his, they get really dark. And they're almost really haunting, right? Like, just really in your head and on some really serious type of shit, bro. It's almost like, you know, one of the best examples that I could use to what I'm trying to compare it to is like Tupac, right? With the song Hail Mary. A lot of people said that Hail Mary was Tupac really being in the other side of his head and his depressive thoughts, how he really felt about things, and his paranoia, and the fact that he really believed he was going to be killed, which he was. And there's even the theory, a lot of people, and I don't subscribe to it either way, but I'm just saying, a lot of people said that Hail Mary was him predicting his death that would come. Now, I guess, like, you know, an example of King Von's music that I'm talking about is like, is the song, Why He Told. That's probably my favorite one, man. That song has been in my head a lot. I used it on one of my other shorts and all that. But that song, I feel like you see a side of King Von that you don't typically see, right? King Von was just this hard nuts from the hood, from O Block, killer, banger, you know what I mean? And a lot of times we saw videos of him, you know, just ripping on his ops, and you know, he was constantly in these legal trouble and all this shit, and he was doing all these videos just disrespecting all these people that they were at war with and stuff, right? But I feel like Why He Told is him telling a real story of his life, because I don't think anything Von rapped about was fake. That's part of why I like his music so much. And I feel like it was like, it's him telling the story of something really personal to him. And in this song, you know, he's obviously talking about somebody he loved like a brother who he felt betrayed by, right? And it's a very haunting song, you know? It's a very get in your head type song, and it makes me wonder if deep in Von's head, if there was other things going on, right? Like, he'd been living that life forever, man. His father had been in that life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody he loved was around it and in that life. And even when Dirk used him, it's no disrespect towards Dirk, but when Dirk picked him up and put him on, it's almost like Von became like, you know, he was the weapon, bro. Von was the one that was coming out attacking towards the ops, you know what I'm saying? And the other thing is, Von, he was very smart, and he knew how to move, you know what I'm saying? So like the incident that happened, you know, that finally got him killed, like the whole deal with Quando Rondo, it just seemed kind of reckless, you know what I mean? it seemed very not Vaughn. And what I'm equating it to, what I feel like it compares to, is like war veterans, you know? I'm a veteran. And you hear all the time about, you know, the 22 a day and the veteran rate of suicide and all that. Some of these guys, they're going overseas, they're the biggest, baddest motherfuckers, you know, at wartime, and just legendary warriors. People like Chris Kyle, right? They come home and they start dealing with these mental problems and these things that are going on because of what they've seen and what they've been through for so long. And a lot of times they can't really talk to people or let it out. You know what I mean? The people around them, they don't feel like that would be accepted. You know what I mean? And it's the same kind of thing on the street, man. Like, I grew up in the city. Like I've said a lot of times, I had a lot of people that were involved in that kind of shit, man. It's the same type of thing, man. You live in that type of lifestyle, you got to stay tough. You got to stay hard-nosed. You know what I mean? And you gotta keep up with that persona, you know? So I was just thinking about the incident that got Vaughn killed, some of the things that started happening towards the end of his life, and it's like, you know, this dude just could not stay away from the street. Like, it was magnetic to him, you know? And it just seemed like no matter how much money he made, no matter how much success he had, he was never gonna stop being that person. And I wonder if he realized that. You know, I wonder if he got to a point where he just knew, like, this wasn't going to end well for him. And it's not that he went into that fight with the wanting to die. You know what I'm saying? It's just that maybe he was less guarded and more reckless because he just didn't care anymore. You know, maybe the trauma was that thick. And that makes me sad, bro, because realistically, I loved the kid's music, man. I felt like King Von was one of the few in a long time that's been very real about who he was, you know, and the things that he'd been through. And it's a tragedy, dude. I feel like a legend was lost and somebody with some major potential was lost. And I just, you know, if that's really what was going on with him, dude, I really hope that, you know, people take from that story. And if you're going through those kind of things, get help, man. Talk to people that you can trust. You know what I'm saying? Discuss the things that are going on. Nobody should get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should feel like that. And there are things out there that can help you, bro. If you can't talk to the people you know, like, you don't trust that situation, call 988. 988 is the suicide and crisis prevention line. You know, you can talk to somebody anonymous and just let the shit out, bro. It's for military and for civilians. They have a line for both, you know. I'm tired of watching young people in this world just lose their lives to dumb shit. You know what I mean? It's time for that to stop. And truthfully, man, it's sad, you know? But I'm gonna keep listening to his music, man. I'm gonna keep rocking with him because King Von was honest, man. And that's the shit that makes me like music, is when I can feel what the artist is talking about because it's real. So, you know, anybody out there going through a similar situation, man, I'm just saying, just please get help. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop losing people. You know, let's start helping people, man. Let's start trying to save our friends, the people we talk about we love, you know? Like I said, man, I'm not looking for any kind of backlash or arguments in this video. I'm sure somebody will do it because somebody always does. But I just wanted to truthfully speak on something that I've been thinking a lot about listening to his music. And, you know, if you like this video and you want to hear me talk more about stuff like this, or you just like some of the other stuff I do, then, you know, hit that thumbs up and hit that bell notification and like and subscribe, man. I hope y'all have a good night, man. Be careful. Take care of yourselves.